It has been more than half a century since the Central Cross Island Highway was built. If you travel along this highway, you will come across many beautiful, lush, and natural environments. You will also encounter the rich and engrossing cultural history of the Taroko area. The highway slowly ascends into higher altitudes of the mountains. As you reach Tsen and Bilu, most likely you will be enveloped by rolling waves of mists and fog. The altitude in this area is between 1,800 and 2,300 meters, with more than 3,000 milliliters of rainfall annually. This is where rainfall is most abundant, a typical montane warm temperate region commonly known as the cloud forest area. A cloud forest usually features a dense and high-reaching canopy. Mosses and epiphytes grow in abundance here, helping to retain huge amounts of rainfall and moisture. The layered habitat, with its high moisture content, gives rise to a higher diversity of flora and fauna. The number of endemic species can be high as well. The cloud forest is home to many ancient trees. Some of Taiwan's most precious and uncommon coniferous trees can be found along this stretch of highway. The Bilu sacred tree, whose massive tree trunk can only be encircled by more than a dozen people holding hands, is at least 3,000 years old. Traveling onwards, you will pass through Jinma Tunnel and Guanyuan. Pure Taiwan red pine forests are found here. The majestic and towering Taiwan red pine is an important reforestation species in Taiwan. In recent years, during dawn, dusk, or simply misty moments, you may even come across the beautiful and elegant Mikado pheasant, leisurely foraging along the trail. This fleeting encounter shows that the conservation efforts of the national park have not been in vain. Rows of mountain peaks appear on your left as you travel from Dayuling to Xiaofengkou. These are the prominent Qilai mountain peaks, which include the main and north peaks, both more than 3,000 meters tall. The trails here are the most treacherous part of the Central Mountain Range. Considered the ridge of Taiwan, the Central Mountain Range stretches from south to north for 150 kilometers. From the Dao Mountains in the south to the Nanhu Mountains in the north, the mountain range features more than 40 peaks over 3,000 meters. The Hehuan and Qilai Mountains are situated at the north stretch of the Central Mountain Range. The imposing and challenging Qilai North Peak is listed as one of the 10 most dangerous peaks in Taiwan. It is also known as Black Qilai thanks to its unpredictable weather conditions and perilous trails. The charming Hehuan Mountains consist of 7 peaks, of which the main peak, the East Peak, the North Peak, and the West Peak, as well as Sherman Mountain, are all listed in the 100 Peaks of Taiwan. The Central Mountain Range not only connects the sea and the mountains, it is also the only highway that runs through alpine ecosystems. The Hehuan Service Station is situated at an altitude of about 3,000 meters. This area is a juxtaposition of cold temperate and subalpine climates, and visitors can easily spot 2 species of coniferous trees here. The Formosan hemlock is majestic and high-reaching, and without a doubt the most imposing and striking coniferous tree. Towering over the landscape in the misty clouds, the hemlock is a powerful presence that evokes the beauty of a Chinese ink painting. The Taiwan white fir, with its tall and strong form, features dense and dark foliage, The firs form pure forests, looking very formidable and impenetrable from afar. Known also as the Black Forests, they are the most highly distributed forests in Taiwan. The fir is easily distinguished by its cone, which grows upwards. Out of the 6 genera of firs in Taiwan, only the Taiwan white fir and the Taiwan cow-tailed fir feature upward-growing cones. The expansive fir forest may look simple and unassuming, yet it is home to many species of animals. An Onston long-nosed tree squirrel scampers hurriedly along the branches of the tree, foraging for food. During cold days, it loves to lie quietly on the branches to enjoy a warm spot of sunlight. The Formosan striped squirrel, staying out of sight in the bushes, is the perfect opportunist. Its diet consists of fruit, seeds, and insects in the forest. The leaves of the Taiwan white fir may look hard, but it is an important source of food for the caterpillar of the endemic Actias nadhoderi. When the caterpillar of the moth keeps still, its camouflage as a fir leaf is impeccable. The moth and the fir, both endemic to Taiwan, enjoy a special evolutionary relationship. As April draws to an end, the buds of the Yushan rhododendrons quietly awaken after half a year of waiting. As the blossoms progress from pale white to triumphant red, the mountains are set aglow in a sea of spectacular blooms and color. After mid-May, the Taiwan rhododendrons follow suit and adorn the green grass plains. A single blossom is testimonial to how Mother Nature arranges her grand world with a simple yet significant rhythm. The rhododendrons are such an exquisite sight that Tang poet Bai Juyi immortalized them in his poem. The tree seems ablaze when the wind rustles its blossoms. At sunrise, the slender branch stretches out its red petals. The peach and plum blossoms pale in comparison, and the hibiscus not worth a mention. The north peak of Hehuan Mountain, Sherman Mountain, and the east peak of Hehuan Mountain are the best places to enjoy the rhododendrons. Take in the beauty of nature, accompanied by the mountain breeze and mists amidst the blossoms in the green. Once you reach the Hehuan Mountain area, you would have arrived at the typical subalpine climate. The landscape and the views are visibly different. Even the birds you encounter are different too. Listen carefully. You will hear all kinds of high mountain birds singing in the cold mountain air. The Taiwan firecrest moves rapidly along the branches of the fir trees. Of the 5 species of firecrests in the world, the endemic Taiwan firecrest is the prettiest. Quick and nimble, they are often found foraging for insects in small groups among the coniferous canopy. The endemic Formosan laughing thrush is the only thrush species occurring at this high altitude in Taiwan, easily distinguished by its white supercilium and the prominent gold patches on its wings. The Formosan laughing thrush, like all thrushes, is an extraordinary singer. Its songs, melodious, penetrating, and bright, ring through the high mountain like a heavenly gift. After May, as the temperature slowly rises, the coniferous trees put forth their blossoms in earnest. The biomass of the mountains reaches its height, and of course the birds begin their annual breeding season. Along the sides of the highway, on prominent branches, we can easily spot the beautiful collared bush robin. The male bird sports a plumage of bright orange and dark blue, while the female is relatively drab. The robin is endemic to Taiwan, and they love to build their nests in the crevices of rocks. The demure outfit of the female bird serves a purpose: to avoid unnecessary attention while it performs its parental duties. The breeding season means survival for the birds. To ensure the safety of the chicks, the high mountain birds pick the most obscure places to build their nests. This nest is completely hidden in the bamboo leaves, the work of the yellow-bellied bush warbler. It looks completely insignificant, yet in truth, strong and sturdy. June arrives, and daylight lingers longer on the mountains. The temperature during the day soars to 25 degrees Celsius, and the warm sunlight activates the growing mechanisms of the high mountain plants. Due to the interaction between radiation and convection, the variation of temperatures between day and night is very high. The plants have to adapt appropriately to fight off the cold, to lessen the moisture and heat loss. They are generally smaller in size and tend to grow closer to the ground. Many also develop special fuzz on their leaves or grow spikes. One typical example is the Taiwan Edelweiss. Its yellowish-green blossoms wrap their petals closely in woolly sepals. The corolla of the ladybell hangs like a bell, while the Morrison stonecrop blossoms face upwards. Many of the plants do not bloom in profusion, but what they lack in numbers, the plants make up in their shapes and structures. The bright colors and distinctive shapes aim to grab the attention of insects quickly. In short, the high mountain plants have adopted a survival strategy, maximizing impact with the least resources. At an altitude of 3,275 meters, Wuling is the highest point of Taiwan's highways. Look northward, and you can see the Zhongyangjian Mountain and Nanhu Mountain. Cross over the Jiushui River, and you meet the rolling peaks of Qilai Mountains. To the south, the Central Mountain Range comes into sight over the broad horizon. On a sunny day, the Yushan Peaks can be seen clearly in the backdrop. Looking down from high above, we can plainly see the river cutting into the land with all its erosive forces. The meandering Liu River, which sculptures the Taroko Gorge, flows from Hehuan Mountain and Qilai North Peak. The Hehuan Mountain area is home to the Liu River, Dajia River, and the Jiushui River. Geologists find excellent examples of river capture and headward erosion here, while mountain hikers consider this place the perfect area for challenging peaks. The Hehuan Main Peak, East Peak, and North Peak can be summited within half a day. The Sherman Mountain only takes half an hour. Every individual peak offers a unique view of its surroundings. The view changes according to the seasons, the weather, and the light. Mountains help Mother Nature unfold her stories in simple yet profound ways. Although the Hehuan mountain area is always bustling with people and cars, the vast green land is still home to many large species of mammals. Observe carefully. If you are lucky, you may encounter them during dusk and dawn near the water sources. When fall arrives in the high mountains, it is time for the fruit and seeds to disperse. It is now only late August, yet the Coriaria intermedia is already laden with fruit. In September, all fruit and seeds are at their most mature state, providing perfect opportunities for bird watching. A group of gray-headed bullfinches forage for ripe fruit on a willow tree. Their short and sturdy beaks are designed to tackle seeds and shoots with great ease. The venacious rosefinch loves the seeds of grass and can always be found foraging quietly in the midst of bushes. The female bird sports an excellent camouflage, but the male bird dons an impressive ruby-red plumage. Fall is also the season when many chicks fledge and attempt to be independent. In this time of abundance, we can often see fledglings chasing after their parents for food. By mid-December, the high mountain plants would have dispersed most of their seeds. The cool and clear autumn slowly recedes as the temperature plunges daily. Once the strong cold front from the north arrives, snow may occur in the high mountains. Of course, the high mountain plants have evolved over time and have adapted to the harsh conditions of winter. Snow is not just inevitable, it is a gift of nature. As a matter of fact, the large areas of vegetation covered in sleet and snow are now in a relatively warmer and moister environment. Without this blanket of snow, the vegetation would be exposed directly to extreme cold air, and the unrelenting cold, dry winds from the north can easily carry away the moisture in the soil and leaves. Falling snow in the high mountains can be very interesting, thanks to the varying weather conditions and humidity. Water molecules in the air can transform into beautiful crystalline ice, frost, snow, sleet, or rime. The high mountains are now coated in silvery crystals, and many life forms become dormant in silent preparation for the warmer seasons. The Taiwan white fir, the Yushan rhododendrons, the moth Actias nadhoderi, the collared bush robin, and the Formosan laughing thrush are all well-known endemic species of Taiwan. We may find this strange. Why do so many endemic species occur in the high mountain areas? Having a high degree of richness and diversity within a small area or a short distance is a special feature of Taiwan's natural environment. Being an island with towering mountains, plunging valleys, the micro-topography, and the climate, these all serve as barriers to genetic exchange. It promotes speciation as well. The Hehuan mountain area is the perfect showroom for allopatric speciation. The endemism in the high mountains not only shows how unique the environment is, it also highlights the fragility of it. The diversified habitats are small in area and are thus highly susceptible to threats of destruction or pollution. The mountains nurture all life forms, provide sustenance, and bring harmony to nature. When you're in the embrace of the high mountains, you are relaxed and you'll feel in awe. There is a clarity that comes with new understanding. As you explore further and get closer, nature offers you a glimpse into the myriad of possibilities. You learn, you grow, and then you are moved and inspired. It will be a most rewarding experience.